Welcome to the POMcast with Stephen Willis. Now we're going to do things a little different. We are going to provide an honest look at Ole Miss athletics for the fan, by the fan, and of the fan. That is what we do. Hell be to me. I'm just kidding. Tune in for some Ole Miss sports news. We're going to give it to you straight. Yeah, right now. The POMcast starts now. It happens now. Holy cow. Listen to me. It's starting. Well, it's going to start right about now. Good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody is doing quite well. Welcome to the POMcast. I'm your host, Stephen Willis. We're going to talk a little bit of Ole Miss sports over the next couple of minutes, and hopefully we can get into some stuff that you're really interested in and kind of jiving on at the moment. We're going to go over new numbers for the incoming freshmen. They're here. They're set. We're going to go over them. We're going to go over, Luke Altmyer, Tysheem Johnson, Dink Jackson, and Markevius Brown. And we're going to go over Coach Yo's huge win over Kentucky, ranked victory. That'll be in segment 3. So stick around for that. Again, I am Stephen Willis, and I am glad you are joining us. My social stuff is not up in a minute, and there's a reason for that. So I'll tell you right off the top. You can follow us on Twitter at @TheStephenWillis. Catch us on Facebook at facebook.com/POMcast. You can follow us on YouTube at positivelyolemiss. Hit the bell whenever we start streaming. You'll be notified. We also have other things on that page, like press conferences, the Ole Miss feeds, things like anything you could be interested in. Greatest games. The 2020 games are available on demand if you want to watch those. Stuff like that is available on our YouTube page. And we're on Twitch at positivelyolemiss, all one word. And when it comes to audio, yes, we still do audio. We would prefer if you'd come over to the video side. We're doing a bunch of cool stuff. But if audio is your thing, we're going to put it on the audio platforms like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, SoundCloud, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. So those are the platforms that we are available on. So welcome to the show. We're going to have a good time for about the next half hour. And like I said, we're going to talk a little bit of recruiting with specific players. We're going to hit my favorite player in the class, Tysheem Johnson. Just a super athlete, and if he has the mindset and the mentality, he has a chance to be next level special in Oxford, Mississippi. And we'll show you a little bit of highlights on him. And like I said, for the early enrollees, the new numbers have come in segment 3, we're going to hit Coach Yo. So, the new numbers are in right there. You can see them. Jacob Springer is available at number 1. Quay Davis, number 3. Luke Altmyer wearing number 7. I can't remember a quarterback at Ole Miss wearing number 7. If you think of one, hit us up on the comments below. DeAndre Prince coming back wearing number 8. Trey Washington, 25. Tysheem Johnson, 27. Markevius Brown, 28. Williams is at, 29. MJ Daniels at 31. Kendrick Breedlove at 37. Dink Jackson's going to wear 39. Solomon Landrum, 41. He's a long snapper, I think, out of the coast. Elijah Sabatini, 42. Micah Pettis, 57. Jacour Pearson, the slot replacement, the transfer from Western Kentucky, 84. Hudson Wolf, 87. Brandon Buckhalter, 89. And Isaiah Aiton, 96. And Jamon Gordon, 97. So that is the new numbers coming in. I'm going to see if I can bring that back up. I'm wanting to try something a little bit new to help you guys out. And so you can see it. And let's see if that comes up. Yeah, it comes up again right there. So I tried to set the duration for a longer period of time, but it didn't take the last time. So if it goes to black, I apologize, but that's what it looks like. As you can see, that came from Ole Miss Uniform Archives at OleMissUnis.com. Must follow on the internet. All kinds of good stuff. They made this graphic. They do all kinds of neat stuff in the uniform realm. So if you're interested in that type of thing, give them a follow at OleMissUnis.com. OleMissUnis.com. And yeah, just for some reason I can't get the duration quite right, but there it was. That's what it looks like. We'll get it fixed for. I told you this is going to be a rough process between now and April. Hopefully by April, it's kind of a fine-tuned machine, and we can just like press forward and do things and like stream in a way that is beneficial for you and make your experience a little bit better. But those are the jersey numbers for the freshmen. Thoughts? Jacob Springer wearing number 1. Very impressed with that. He was an all-conference player in the American, so he has 1 year. I think people are sleeping on the way our defense is going to look with both him and Otis Reese on the back end. I mean, it's a major improvement over what we had. And Jacob Springer kind of plays a star-like position. At least that's what he did at Navy. And his main thing was rush the quarterback, be disruptive, and also be effective in the pass game, which sounds a whole lot like a star, which that is going to free Otis Reese up to play the strong safety position, which he did most of the end of last season anyway. So that's helped. Jacour Pearson at 84, I think he was. That's interesting to me. Hudson Wolf at 87. That's about par for the course. So those players in those uniforms, and especially seeing all of them stretched out like that, it's a heck of a job, Ole Miss Uniform Archives. And it really is. At OleMissUnis.com, give them a follow. They are a must follow on the internet. And they have all kinds of good stuff, and the uniform reveals and things like that. We're going to do stuff here on uniform reveals. We're going to do stuff here on motivational videos. The video that they did yesterday, I don't know if I could make through it. It kind of fires you up. It kind of makes you emotional. It's possibly the best video ever done by Ole Miss Sports Video, and I would know that because I've made some of those videos way back in the freaking Jumbotron era. So it's an unbelievably high level video. So I hope you guys enjoy that, watch it, and if I think about it, I will tweet out the link to that video. It's got about 100,000 views on each of the services, so I mean it's top shelf quality. It really is. So watch that. When we come back from the break, we are going to hit up some signee video. Luke Altmaier, Dink Jackson, Tysheem Johnson, Markevious Brown, and basically set this up for what to expect from those guys and how they might potentially land. So we're going to take that quick break and stick around.
Only 10% of us get enough daily exercise.
And that number is dropping.
Nearly 30% of us are overweight or obese.
We spend 6 hours a day in front of a screen.
As a result, we now have a shorter life expectancy than our parents.
But give us the right start in sports, and we'll never stop.
Learn how at active4life.ca.
Hey, this is Stephen Willis from Positively Ole Miss. We're almost done with this break. We'll be back with good information quite soon.
The military has been in every generation of my family, and so has VA. It wasn't easy for my dad after Vietnam, but VA helped him and my mom get the home they'd always wanted. My grandpa's been coming to VA since World War II. They even helped him lay to rest one of his battle buddies from Normandy. And me, I followed in their footsteps and served with pride. And now that I'm out of the military, the GI Bill's helping me with school. Every generation of my family has served, and VA has served us all.
Segment 1 in the books. Here we go. We got our recruiting thing. Basically, what we've done is the players that we listed on signing day, they kind of got shortchanged. So we're going to go back and do them and kind of give them an explainer again and put their highlight video out there so people that might be interested in it can watch it. But again, thanks for doing this. Now, we have a major defensive class, but there are some offensive stalwarts in this class. Quay Davis, Brandon Buckhalter, Braylon Brown, J.J. Henry, Luke Altmaier. I mean, just to name a few. That's not even counting the big uglies up front, the Micah Pettises and such. But when it comes to basically offensive side, there are needs that have been met as well. We have absolutely improved the receiving, and we've improved the quarterback position, because there you can see Luke Altmaier. The one word that comes to mind when you see Luke Altmaier play quarterback is smooth. He's never rushed. It's kind of a pleasure to watch him play quarterback. Even in high school, he looked like he's a next level above what it was. Everything is smooth. Everything is just on target. And he never looks rushed, never looks hurried. And you can see he's a little bit more of a twitchy athlete than one might think. There's a lot of running that can be done as well. So he's not really considered a dual threat, but it can be used as one. Now, Dink Jackson out of Melbourne, Florida, or Key West, Florida, it depends on which site you're on. This is a player that is going to line up in the basic star position, the will linebacker position. He likes physicality. He likes playing near the line of scrimmage. He's hyper aggressive. So if you put him back at free safety, it would obviously cut down on that aggressiveness. So you want him towards the line of scrimmage. I want to see him in coverage, but he could be Jacob Springer's heir apparent at star. But they play a little bit similar, but they play like an outside linebacker. Now, this is my favorite player in the class, Tysheem Johnson out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He is a freaky athlete, just unbelievably twitchy. Ole Miss had him at the top of their board, and for good reason. He has a chance, in my opinion, to be the honey badger, depending on his mentality. He's got that kind of athletic, and he's got that kind of build. But that's what you're looking at, and you just see him just working on, and you worry about a little bit the level of competition, but I mean, he's so twitchy, and he's so impressive as a defensive back, as a specialist. He's probably going to play both ways. Now, Markevius Brown down from Bradenton, Florida at IMG Academy, he's a true super athlete cornerback, and you look at him, he can make the catches, so it's not like he's playing DB because he has poor hands, but he's a super athlete with good hands and just makes plays after play after play. And you can see him break, and IMG has a heck of a program down there. They're very well coached, and basically they recruit players from all over the country. So if you're on the field there, you are a pretty good player. And, I mean, even you can find out like whatever his name, Tanner Brown or whatever at Minnesota was a backup quarterback. Didn't even see the field at IMG. Went up there in Big Ten country and is the starting quarterback for Mr. Row the Boat himself. So that's what we're looking at in recruiting. I tried to cut it down a little bit from yesterday because of just the overload of it. So at the top, with Luke Altmaier, he's very smooth, very smooth. And then you go over to the defensive side of the ball with Dink Jackson, Tasheem Johnson, and Markevius Brown. And they all fit roles in this defense. And you can see a little bit how they're going to go about rebuilding this defense. And it starts on the edges, so to speak. And that's going to be on the defensive line and in the backfield. They want their safeties to be next level and special, and they want them to be multiple so they can use them, fit them in different areas. DJ Durkin is the guy that made Jabril Peppers famous, the way he was used at Michigan. And I'm not saying any of these guys are Jabril Peppers, but I'm saying you're going to see a versatility in how they're used. You're going to see Tasheem Johnson line up at star, free safety, and strong safety. You're going to see Dink Jackson line up at will, star, strong safety. You're going to see Markevius Brown play both slot and boundary corner, maybe nickel corner. But it's all rolling. It's just going along as things are just clicking defensively for this team. But you can see a little bit how they intend to build it and the problems they intend to cause. And it starts up front. Like, you'll see highlights of Jamon Gordon, Isaiah Iton, and we've already done Taiwan Malone to death. But defensive linemen that can attract double teams mean you can get more pressure with a blitz. Defensive linemen can be one-on-one. You send a fifth player, there's a chance he comes free or he is just completely overwhelmed because a double team is set up for Taiwan Malone or Isaiah Iton or one of the defensive ends. And that opens up a little bit of a window because less time to throw the football helps out the secondary so much. There's less time to cover. And those super athletes back there, any mistake, they can be there and punish you. And all of a sudden, the quarterback starts second-guessing and ends up in a little bit of a rut. It kind of looks like Texas A&M 2015, in Oxford, whenever we basically broke Kyle Allen that day. And he just didn't look comfortable throwing the football anywhere he was throwing it because he had no confidence. And that's what this defense can do. It's going to be multiple and give you a bunch of looks. It's designed for explosive plays defensively, turnovers and lost yardage plays. But they've kind of hit the areas that need to be hit. Now, I expect, and that's just my opinion, one promise made to Dink Jackson will be my first. But I expect Dink Jackson will play will linebacker eventually at Ole Miss. He's a twitchy super athlete type guy and fits that mold of sideline to sideline, being able to run that down. And you see the stars. You can see the corners. We haven't done MJ Daniels yet on highlight, but he's a 6'3" corner. I mean, it's something to see. So we're going to continue doing all of our videos on these signees to give you an idea of what you can look forward to. And here in a couple of weeks, we're going to get Corey on the phone on the show, and we're going to do Anatomy of the Touchdown, my favorite touchdown of the year. If you want to peek ahead, it was the third score against Vanderbilt is my favorite touchdown of the season. And we're going to tell you exactly why it is our favorite touchdown of the season. And we're also going to do a video of how to follow recruiting for free. We're working on that, and we're playing around to be able to do that, but that's something we're actually working on all the sites. Where's the free content located? What exactly are you paying for? That's all we're going to do there, but that'll be a little public service to you guys to let you know, because there's a lot of people that think most of that stuff is pay, most of that stuff is free, and I'll show you exactly what. And from prospect pages, team rankings, player rankings, crystal balls, that's all free. So I will put that out to you and show you how to do that. So you basically on those sites you are following the message board and those posters that, yeah, exactly. And the opinion pieces of the writers who don't really pay attention to necessarily what's going on. So you end up with a hypothetical ending up as a news story because of the little circle that they have going in news, and they're just trying to find stuff to cover. So we're going to do a video and show you how to avoid all of that. And that should be quite interesting, really. Now we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, Coach Yo takes center stage and her victory over Kentucky. So stick around.
Extremely grateful for the win, extremely grateful for our players having resilience and not breaking. I thought that they put together 40 minutes, and we knew we were close because we had put together 25 minutes, then 30 minutes, and then LSU, we put together 39 minutes. And so the focus for the last couple of days was just on finishing, and I thought we did a good job of that today.
All right, Coach O with the big ranked win, upsetting Kentucky 72-60. It's been coming for a little bit. I've been telling you about that, and it is a testament of how big of a hole that Ole Miss women's basketball was in that we finally got to this point. It's been getting close over the last few weeks. The LSU game went to overtime. You can just see it. And it's just momentum off of the last recruiting class and all those young girls to move in and grow and develop as a player, as a team. And you can only see them getting better from here. Now, this team started off in a massive hole. Matt Insel just basically cratered it. I think he was dealing with the remnants of, I can't remember his name, the guy from Fresno State that took the job that got the women's basketball program in some kind of trouble that led to, that's secondary part of the tweet, the legendary tweet. But Matt Insel did not advance this program really in any way. And Coach Yo took over a program with a lot of problems. And it has had to grow, and it was cratered, and you just had to slowly build it back to respectability. And she has done that. And this past year, the recruiting class, I believe, was first in the conference. And they're doing it through recruiting. And they're just getting better, and they're learning how to win. And finally beating a ranked team, beating Kentucky, that is worth taking note in. because it wasn't too long ago that South Carolina almost shut them out in the first half. Just they couldn't score at all. And they've gone from that to winning against ranked teams at home. And that is a monumental step for Coach O. That's a monumental step for the Lady Rebs. And patience is required for this group still. They're still growing. There's still a long way to go. And just incrementally, they're getting better and better and better. And because of that, you're able to basically make plans for the future. You're basically able to handle that. So we still have a little bit to go. The girls have to deal with success, build on it for the next one, and kind of start stacking wins. You started in the beginning of the non-conference. Now you're going to be stacking wins in the SEC, and as we all know, that is a completely different animal. And if you can do that, you're routinely one of the best teams in the country. So, congratulations to Coach O and that big win over Kentucky, 72-60 last night. And, yeah, it's kind of great to see. Kind of great to see after my speech a while back of give her more time. So, I think I'm pretty excited. All right, now here at the POMcast, now we had it's a little bit glitchy, it's a little bit rough. We appreciate you tuning in. We're going to keep trying to improve it over the next couple of months, and hopefully by April-ish, it turns into a fine-tuned machine. Once we get it tuned to a fine-tuned machine, then we're going to start the growth. Now, what does that mean? That means we are going to create Willis Digital Media. And from that, if you have a podcast that you want to take to the next level, as you can see here, I am willing to basically produce that for people for a fee. Not that much. We're talking like $150 a month. And I will produce the podcast and do whatever needs to be done. But by April, your podcast can look like this. Your podcast can next level. You don't have to do anything but what you're doing now. Talking into a microphone. That's all your podcast has to be. Everything else can be done. Now, we will set up at, now I'm not going to come to your house, but we'll need a camera, obviously. We need a backdrop that is somewhat good looking on camera, just so to look, and we'll frame the shot up the way it's supposed to be. Now, doing that, we'll be able to proceed. So, my goal, like I said, from the beginning, was to increase the Ole Miss fan base. And that isn't necessarily just me. There's other podcasts in the Ole Miss sphere that people already listen to, and it should be a way to basically add on to them and make them even better as well. I want Ole Miss to have the best coverage in the country, period. Doesn't matter what you say, doesn't matter what you do. I want the best coverage in the country. That's my want. And if we can do that by putting your podcast on the air and through our platform, I will absolutely do that. Now, I'm not a producer. You're going to have to produce the elements. I will tell you how. But it's going to be very little work. I did all this in a weekend. And that was with having absolutely no knowledge of the software. Also, if you're not an Ole Miss, if you're, say, a Georgia fan, I will gladly do this for your podcast as well. So we'll just have to schedule it and figure out how we're going to do it and, up the level of your engagement with your fans. And we can do that through this POMcast-like platform that I'm just very excited for. I mean, we've done our first week. It was a little rough in spots, but it was definitely doable. And you can see the improvement, and you can see the try things that we're doing. We're just trying stuff. And doing that is going to lead us down a road of pretty cool things, like the Twitter thing today. Look, I'll show that to you again because I'm proud of that. But again, Ole Miss uniform archives, new jerseys. I built that in 3 minutes. 3. So you want stuff that, this stuff looks complicated, but it's actually easy to do. That's the hard part of setting this up, is to make it look like it's supposed to look while minimizing the number of clicks that need to be done. So that is one thing that I'm really proud of. And thank you guys for spending this first week with us on the air. We're going to get better. It's going to do better. We're going to have more hits from Chris Thrasher. Darby McCraney is going to come in the next couple of weeks, and we're just going to try and provide an avenue for you to, fully enjoy Ole Miss sports again. Anyway, hope everybody has a great weekend.